First and foremost, tell us a bit about your background, where you're from, your career, and what you're currently up to.
Okay. Um, I've been a nurse for about 17 years, a licensed vocational nurse. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I have my bachelor's degree in healthcare management, and I have my master's in project management. I'm currently taking courses now at Grand Canyon University, receiving my doctorate in organization leadership and healthcare administration is what I'm currently doing. I am the president and CEO. I'm one of the founders of Black Nurses Rock San Antonio chapter.
Okay, and that's a national organization?
Yes, our national
Okay,
organization is called Black Nurses Rock. It
okay.
was founded in 2014 and it chartered in 2015. It has about 174,000 members in this organization. Um, they're all over the United States. We have 44 chapters throughout the United States, and we have 6 chapters here in Texas, Black Nurses Rock chapters here in Texas. And our goal is to inspire and empower innovative leaders to go out and serve our vulnerable communities.
Good, good. Let me just ask a number real quick. How many black nurses are there in San Antonio?
Oh, there's quite a few. I do have 18 chapter members. We have some that come and some that go. With the military being here, some come in and some go. But there's quite a few Black nurses here, and
So
a
there's
lot of them are on the Facebook page
and there's currently 18 in the
in
organization.
the organization now.
Okay. What was the original reason for uniting or organizing as a chapter here in San Antonio for the
What
nurses?
our chapter, what we all focus on, and we do that throughout all our communities, and all the other chapters have the same mission that Black Nurse Rock has. And we focus on having a positive environment within the organization and within the communities. And we also help with professional growth and development. There's a lot of benefits being a member of Black Nurses Rock, the national organization as well. They give out scholarships. We partner up with a lot of colleges. Walden University is one of our major colleges. Walden University just gave away almost $100,000 in scholarship money. And
Nice.
they just recently gave away some more scholarship. And so it's a lot of benefits. And we also do mentorship in supporting nursing and nursing students here in our community.
Very good. It's good work. Great service. So let's talk about COVID-19. How is it affecting nurses on the front line?
Well, it is really affecting a lot of the nurses. I try to communicate not only with my chapter members, but I also try to communicate with those on Facebook, on our Facebook group, Black Nurses Rock San Antonio chapter. And it is challenging our skills as nurses. A lot of nurses, and the complaints I heard from some of the nurses today was that they're getting burnt out, a lot of stress. It's also challenging our medical ethics, our standards of nursing care. We're having to drop some of those standards just to provide, health care to these COVID-19 individuals. It's challenging our morals, our family values, because, you're having to choose to come and do what you love to do best, but also afraid of taking this back home to your loved ones. So a lot of the nurses are staying in separate bedrooms, or some of the nurses are also going to other locations, like in New York. I do know several nurses that are in New York that is from here.
Hmm.
They're having this feeling of not being heard. So it's a lot of doubt, and of course, financial insecurity. Some of the nurses are having to work because their significant other has lost their job or been furloughed. With it being a lot of military and the government civil service employees here, most of the time those civil service employees that are in healthcare, they're considered essential. So when I was at BAMZ, when we went through other uh, viruses and different things, we actually had to still go to work. And so, we're having to make big choices in our life. If we're going to continue nursing, or we're going to, be stay-at-home moms. So I hear that a lot from a lot of nurses. And then they're having to choose, they're in doing skills that they may not have had to do, we all have foundations in nursing, so we all have those skills. So it's really challenging our critical thinking and bring about some of those skills that that we did learn in nursing school. But it's just good for the supervisors and things to take those who has more skills and bump them up with another nurse to even off your team to make it more even. So
Okay.
it's really challenging the nurses.
And I'm hearing nationally that equipment and supplies have been a real problem. Is that happening currently, locally here too?
I've had heard that. Um, I just posted an article of a nursing individual on my Facebook page. She works at University Healthcare. Her and her team had created some masks, but I really hadn't heard too many people saying that they're really out of PPE. They're making do with what they need. I did talk to a nurse before I actually came on. She works at giving temperatures at another facility, like a factory, and she said, they have the basic things for them. She's doing temperatures, but she felt safe wearing her own mask. So some of the supplies are not to the standards of what some nurses feel comfortable wearing.
Yeah. Okay. So African Americans are disproportionately impacted by the virus. What should we know in terms of healthcare and just lifestyle management through this?
Well, I was looking at the zip code when you were giving out the statistics. I also kind of went and looked at the zip codes, and I know that most of the African American are on the east side of San Antonio, and I was really amazed and shocked. I live on the west side of San Antonio, and here on the west side, most of the zip codes had more than 21 cases of COVID-19, and the east side actually had less, between 13 and 16 or less. So I'm not sure if the statistics are being reported. That could be a dilemma in what we're getting far as statistics. But as African Americans, we have those comorbidities of heart disease, diabetes runs in the family. A lot of people have diabetes, and when you have those other illnesses and it bumps up with this virus, being say you have a heart disease, and the heart and the lung kind of goes together, and with this virus it affects the lungs, so all the organs is just trying to compensate, so it makes it hard to overcome COVID-19. It
So that's
does.
interesting. That's interesting that the majority of African Americans reside on the east side. I guess we would say east and south, but the statistics or the numbers are lower than on the west side.
Yes, they were.
Is it bad reporting
Even
or
the they were even lower than the south of
lower
me.
than the
They
south
were
side
also
too?
lower. hmm
Yeah, do
So
you think it's bad?
I'm not sure if it's coming from not being reported.
Hmm.
Um, I can kind of speak for myself, and in growing up, in my family, we didn't really go to the doctor. We did grandma's um, hot toddy. We didn't want to go to the doctor, or we couldn't afford to go to the doctor. So I'm not sure if it's, a lot of it might not, maybe in the reporting.
Yeah, there's a lot of cultural history that
Yeah.
goes into understanding why that might be happening.
hmm
Um, okay, how can the community help? I mean, we appreciate the service you guys are providing on the front lines, and that includes the fire department and police department, EMT,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
even some of the grocery store workers and all. Those folks are right in in the midst of everything, and they're at risk on a regular basis, just trying to do their job. So is there something we can do as a community to help the work that nurses do?
The community needs to follow the guidelines that's set by the mayor and the governor. Just like we now have the the order of wearing a mask. Um, I went out the other day. I had to go get prescriptions and a few essential items, and I was amazed in the store that I was in. It probably was only a handful of us had a mask on. Even the grocery store workers did not have masks on. They were out collecting buggies with just gloves on. So, go on the cdc.gov website. They have everything that you need to know, even on the San Antonio.gov website. But we need to take heed of the warnings. We need to, clean, disinfect your areas daily, and sometime more than that. Use your hand sanitizer when you're going out. Anytime you're touching anything, one thing about money is one of the dirtiest things that we can have, and of course we have to exchange that money.
Okay.
Yes, we have to exchange money, but some people say not to wear those gloves inside. You see some in the stores with the gloves. Normally I only use my glove when I'm checking out, or you can use a pen to do the numbers on the keypad. But as community, we really need to, if you can, stay at home. Those essential workers, let them do their job, because you're putting them at risk by having this virus to not slow down. It's just really, when I look at Facebook every day and I'm following those nurses in New York, I'm also following the nurses in Detroit. It's really, really amazing what I'm hearing.
It's unfortunate. Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break here and come back with Dr. Charlotte Davis. Not quite doctor, right? As soon as you finish that
I'm claiming it.
It's okay. Good. You're on your way. We're going to believe it for you. I'm your host, Cedric Fisher. This is Press Play. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hello, I'm Tony Hendricks, Chief Operating Officer at Lewis Funeral Home. Lewis Funeral Home has been serving San Antonio and surrounding areas for over 100 years. Lewis Funeral Home's ultimate goal is to help those families in their time of need. If your family is ever in need, please feel free to call us at Lewis Funeral Home, 210-227-7281, or check us out on our website at lewisfuneralhome.com.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
With coronavirus spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You're at higher risk if you're over 65 or if you have an underlying medical condition. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information. As the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus?
People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room, you don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician.
We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first, because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Does your life matter? Education, health, and finance can determine your future and explain your past. Pick up the latest edition of Black Life Texas Magazine, a monthly outlook on life with an African American focus. Life is what you make it, so live it in the black.
This is Jaina, into the future. Do you remember back when I was in 7th grade? Anything that I would do, she would make fun of me, she would laugh at me, she would talk to her friends and whisper. I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like blue tearing up right now.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Hello, I'm Tony Hendricks, Chief Operating Officer at Lewis Funeral Home. Lewis Funeral Home has been serving San Antonio and surrounding areas for over 100 years. Lewis Funeral Home's ultimate goal is to help those families in their time of need. If your family is ever in need, please feel free to call us at Lewis Funeral Home, 210-227-7281, or check us out on our website at lewisfuneralhome.com.
Welcome back to Press Play. Press Play is a weekly podcast from Black Book Studios. And today we are talking about COVID-19, just like every other media channel in the country and around the world. Tonight we've invited a special guest to talk about COVID-19 on the front lines. And our featured guest this evening is Ms. Charlotte Davis, President and CEO of the Black Nurses Rock San Antonio chapter. Welcome back, Charlotte.
Thank you.
So let's talk about a few things. I really wanted to talk to you and learn about the transmission of the virus. I think a lot of folks understand that in detail. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
The CDC, this is a virus that is considered what we call a droplet. And droplets are where you're talking, we can't actually see them there, or when you're coughing or anything coming from your mouth. So that's why it's really important that they were asking about the distance, staying a certain distance, the social distancing. And then also too, when you're wearing your mask, whenever you touch your face, touch your mask. As healthcare workers, we're trained to take our masks off certain way, and something that individual is not aware of. So that I'm telling everybody to go and look at the guidelines on the CDC website. And with this transmission, as it being a droplet, those things go into the air and they fall. And when they fall on the surfaces of the things that's around us. And so I went in, it's also on the CDC website, and it's also on WebMD. I love WebMD. And they're having now to tell you about these viruses on different surfaces, how long they can actually stay on surfaces. That's why it's important that you wash your hands at least 20 seconds, or say the ABC while you're washing your hand with water, hand sanitizer, and use your bleach around the house. And when you use your bleach, a lot of people are spraying in there, dry it, let it air dry, leave it there, let it air dry, because you're just basically wiping it off. But according to WebMD, your plastics that we get in the store also, it can stay on there for 2 or 3 days. A cork board, it can live on cork for 24 hours. Stainless steel, 2 to 3 days also, and also glass up to 5 days. So this is really something serious. when you're out. So that was another, other than having that distance between socialization, also with the individuals and serving things. When you bring your groceries home, you can also have like a clean side and a dirty side. I usually have a side and dirty side, and I spray my bags. I wiped all my items off with a little bleach wipe before I actually put them up, and then after I'm done, I clean the whole surface. So it's really, really important that you pay attention to the social distance, that you pay attention now that they want us to wear a mask. Although we're not N95 masks, but any type of covering can help. It's better than nothing. I know a lot of people question it's not the N95 that the healthcare workers are actually wearing. It does help. You can use t-shirts. They have guidelines where different people are making masks. A lot of people are selling on the website. A lot of people also give. So this is really a serious transmission with it being public because we can't see it.
Because I hear that a cloth mask is better than the mask that you can buy from a store. Is that accurate or?
Well, I'm not sure if that's really accurate. The most protective mask they call the N95 respirator, or the N95, which is what your healthcare individual are working. Most of the masks that we buy in the store in healthcare, we call them simple masks. The Dollar Tree has those. Lowe's have simple masks. They also now are seeing the painter's mask. Back in the day, well, not even back in the day, that you use painting, they are actually N95 masks, but not actual respirators, but they have that extra protective covering of the mask. But cloth masks, t-shirts, I think Surgeon General actually demonstrated a video using a t-shirt, and he made a mask out of that. Handkerchiefs and rubber bands. So there's a lot of people getting creative, but the N95 is the actual one that the healthcare team are working. And so that asking you and I not to wear those or purchase those, so they'll be available for those healthcare workers and frontliners.
Interesting. Okay. Let's talk a bit about the safety of the healthcare workers when they are dealing with someone with COVID-19. You and I were talking offline before the show about a recent mandate by the American Medical Association. Can you share that with our audience?
Yeah, it came out today from the American Heart Association, and they a new mandate for emergency personnel. They want them to decrease the number of people in the area. This is kind of like, for example, your ambulance coming to a scene or your fire department coming to a scene. They want to limit the people in the area. They want to have them start picking and choosing, prioritizing who is going to need O2, who's going to need ventilators, and who has the best survival. And this is something they came out with, and they're asking other organizations to put this into their policies and procedures, because they're trying to not only minimize COVID-19, but also the protection and the safety of the rescuers.
Interesting. And who makes that decision? Is it the healthcare worker at the time that decides safety first, or?
Well, with our medical ethics and standard of care, we're trained as nurses and doctors and any emergency personnel. We're trained to heal. We train to do what we can possible to take care of you, to make you better. So this is some of the these nurses are facing in the front line. I mean, when someone passes over, I'm seeing nurses breaking down on Facebook, and they're crying because they're asking themselves, was there any more I could do? Did I do what I needed to do as a nurse? And with them talking about the ventilators, I am glad that we do have a good supply here in San Antonio, because we don't have that on ventilators. I think they said about maybe 30 plus ventilators, but we had 400 and something ventilators. still available, and 2,000 hospital rooms still available. We were doing really well on maintaining this COVID-19 here in our healthcare area. But yeah, it's really, it's usually your organizations like the CDC.gov, American Heart Association, that are making some of the calls. But and then your World Health Organization, which some know it as the WHO organization, and also your department.
That's the one that the president decided he was going to cut off funding to because he wasn't happy with some of the outcomes they were
with the World Health WHO organization. Yeah, I don't think that would happen. I have been seeing the articles that's not going to happen, because that is one organization that has a lot of medical information and guidelines.
Okay. With all the social distancing and self-isolation that's going on, this is carried on for a good month and a half for some folks. A lot of single people are finding themselves just isolated away from groups of people, and people are now starting to hit mental frustration, depression. A lot of anxiety is starting to come out. Talk to us a little bit about how to get through that.
To talk to another person. I have a nurse to phone me before I logged on, and she was expressing burnout. Last night, I received a message from her. She was like, I need to take off. I need some time because, extra hours. Even the nurses that work 8-hour shifts are doing more than 8 shifts. They're having to add extra shift. Most nurses work 12-hour shifts, but we normally don't do 12. We're always doing 13, 14, or 16 hours. But as far as mental health, I will speak for myself, and I'm not even on the front line. I have a therapist. I believe most of the healthcare facilities do offer this for their staff. If not, I am urging that they do offer this for the staff. I do know most of the facilities here are offering that because it's really needed. It's not even just the healthcare workers, but the family members are also going through this mental breakdown. They're facing this as well. And so, on Antonio.gov, there are some links and some phone numbers to health. I will sharing on our Facebook page, Free Mental Health, for frontliners that you can call and go to or speak with. Your coworkers, give someone a listening ear. There's also third families on the w.elos care parachute, and I'll repost that on our Facebook chapter. I will post that link for you, but not was the families, but we have our homeless not veterans, but just our homeless people out there as well. Where are they gonna go? Because they're asking for everybody to stay at home. What are we doing for these individuals as well? So it's really taking a toll. And I'm a single person, and it's definitely taking a toll, even because I'm always out there in the community, and I would actually even be out there with the frontline of nurses, if my health would allow me. But I'll be putting myself at risk right now. So I try to do as much as I can by checking on the nurses, post as much information that I can share with anyone. So mental health, PTSD is going to be a big issue. I have been seeing a lot of nurses. Some people think PTSD is just associated with the military. It's not. It's any post situation that has happened in your life, and so that's going to be. I have been seeing a lot of frontliners is going to be facing that as well.
Right. Yeah. That's as this thing rolls out. Eventually, once it passes, I think there will be a lot of attention paid to PTSD and things like that. because folks won't soon forget what they just went through. Charlotte, thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the listening audience tonight? Anything we
I would just like to thank
address?
all the frontliners, all listeners. We all in together, and to understand what is really going on. If you don't ask someone, there's a lot of information on Facebook that's credible. There's a lot of information that's not credible. So I advise everybody to leave those credible sites like our Antonio.gov site, BC.gov site. And as far as the chapter, when all this is said and done, we're going to be out there. We're going to be out there trying to do as much as we can. So, involved with other organizations. There's a lot of organizations here in San Antonio, all do different things in the community. Volunteer, donations. Sometimes if you don't have donations, I work with several organizations here in San Antonio that are my partners. We different things for the Alamo Breast Foundation, and we also do a lot with the Salvation Army, Boys and Girls Club, and also their homeless shelter. We do a lot of mentoring for Girls Inc. of San Antonio, that's here in San Antonio. We do a lot of donations for Haven for Hope and also Sons Ministry. So, the community need to just come together when those organizations are out there really, asking for your help. Join in the fight. We're going to make it stronger. We're stronger together, even though right now we're strong together by being away from each other. But when this is all said and done, we're stronger together than we are apart.
No doubt about it. Thank you, Charlotte. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for
your service that you're doing. And did you let everyone know how to get in touch with you or organization?
Yeah, we have a organization. You can go on www.Black Nurses Rock. That's the national organization's website. On there, you can see that you can join any nursing students, and now you have to be a nurse to join. You can come in as an ambassador at $50 every 6 months, and once you join your national organization, you can reach out and join one of your local chapters. Our dues are $25 a year, and they're paid annually. And so on our Facebook, it's Black Nurses Rocks, San Antonio chapter. And I hope you guys reach out to me and go in there and like the community page. And when we put out information, share. Please share it.
Charlotte P. Davis, CEO, President of Black Nurses Rock San Antonio chapter. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
That's the show for tonight, folks. We want to encourage you guys to follow the rules of the medical experts. Obviously, now we all must wear a mask when we go out. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Get as plenty exercise as you can. Rest. And we'll recover from this at some point. This has been Press Play. My name is Cedric Fisher, your host. You can always tune in to Black Video Network on YouTube, same time